Let me see the Dire Maul farming spot. This is for you guys, okay? I know some of you guys are not streamers, and so you're not able to sit in town and beg for money. Guys, I'm really sorry to hear that. It's terrible that some people don't have that option. But it's a catch-up mechanic. It's not a big deal, dude. It's about the economy impact. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how big of an impact it has. I think that's just what's going to take time. Yeah. So, some people are not streamers, and they can't beg for gold. And guys, let me offer you my sincerest condolences. That's the case. But we'll go ahead and we'll look at the top 5 Dire Maul gold farms. We'll see what's going on here. Some people are quitting because Dire Maul came out now. Good. If you're quitting because Dire Maul came out too early, you're a retard, and it's better that the game doesn't have you in it. Yeah. I'm that's good. That's good for everyone. If anybody is quitting for that, thank God. Like, thank fucking God.
Another video. Dire Maul release is right around the corner. And I mean really right around the corner. Whether you agree with it or not, it's happening, and there isn't really much that we can do about it at this point, to be honest. Even though I see some issues with an early release like this, for newer players at least, it's really not the end of the world, and I'm definitely still excited for it personally. So I've made 2 videos on the topic so far, one monologue style video covering the initial announcement, and another edited video giving a total overview of what to expect from the release of this dungeon and how it's going to affect the game. I've also heard a bunch of people talking about how the Dire Maul release is going to affect the economy in a large way. They're saying gold's going to inflate like crazy and severely affect prices. For the most part, I think that this is overstated. It's a bit of an alarmist take. While it will affect the economy for sure, it's not going to be to a catastrophic extent like some will have you believe. But nonetheless, there's tons of gold to be made during this phase of content. So get ready to stuff your wallet with gold coins. Now obviously, that's the topic of this video. All the gold farms available in Dire Maul. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so first on the list, out of all of these farms, let's cover the most common run, and not to mention the one with the lowest
That's the Lasher one.
Entry, Lasher runs.
Yep.
This specific
just
farm
walk
run
in and
has
do
been a common gold farming strategy since original vanilla back in 2005. In fact, it was really popular in 2005 and then later got nerfed significantly in 2006. So it's been prevalent for a really long time.
Oh, so they nerfed it in Vanilla WoW. See, I didn't even know that. So they nerfed the Lasher farm in Vanilla WoW. So to make sure what's going on here. Because if they did that, then it was BC. Well, 2006 used to be OPS 5. Are you talking about the 2.0 patch nerfed it? Because BC came out in January 2007. Yeah, so it came out, I think, January 17th or January 7th, 2007, Burning Crusade. So everything in 2006 was Vanilla WoW. Everything in 2006 was Vanilla WoW. It was the pre-patch. If it was the pre-patch, then that's different.
Unlike some of these which have been perfected and become more common over the years of private server play. This farm takes place in Dire Maul East, which is the lowest level dungeon out of the 3, North, East, and West, which also doesn't require a key to gain access either. In fact, you don't even need to be level 60 to execute on this farm at all. You could start in your mid-level 50s, although that's mainly true for mages. So that's why I mentioned it as a low barrier to entry. Not to mention that the farm is really simple to execute. So right as you enter DM East, you're perched over a courtyard with massive overgrowth protruding through the gap.
It's easy.
Down in that courtyard are a ton of plant-based enemies. The packs that we're looking for down there are the Lashers. They're big groups of little sapling-type creatures scattered across the entire courtyard floor. The idea is really simple. Go from pack to pack of Lashers, group them up, and AoE them down. Loot everything, and then reset. You can do this farm on most classes that can AoE. Mages, of course, are the best. Priests can do it with Holy Nova. Warlocks can do it with Voidwalker Sacrifice.
Look at his character name. Eat my dick.
And Voidwalker
I like that a lot.
AoE taunt.
Perfect
a mix between Hellfire and Rain of Fire. Paladins can do it. Maybe Shamans with their AoE Blast Totem, possibly. I'm pretty sure.
I could try this on my Warlock.
Maybe a Geared Warrior can do it as well, but don't take my word on it.
Oh, I don't know about that. Warriors suck.
Due to the loot table on these Lashers. Firstly, they drop vendor trash, which has a really nice cumulative value to it. They can also drop a variety of different high-level herbs, even Dreamfoil and the likes. And I've also heard rumors of Black Lotus having a chance of dropping off
Wait,
these
damn,
as well.
like this guy can kill him in like 1 second.
Thing that has not been confirmed yet. I guess we'll find.
Dude, that shit's easy. Like, what the fuck? Like, I thought these Lashers were like really hard to kill. No. You just go and AoE them. Is this good for leveling? I guess probably not, because you'd aggro the other mobs though, right? So like you couldn't really do it for leveling, you had to do it for year 60. So I guess that kind of does make sense.
Out with the release of classic Dire Maul, and they also dropped Living Essence at a really nice
52 plus
rate,
is good.
which right now are selling I think for around 8 gold on my server.
I had no idea.
And have an even higher value once AQ40 comes out due to the heavy need for nature resist gear. Oh, and of course, not to mention that they have a chance to drop epic items and just items in general. So this is a really solid farm. You get a ton of vendor trash and nice little perks on
these
top
mobs
of that
are easy
as well.
as fuck
Here's
to kill.
another one that involves a very similar path in the same exact dungeon, Dire Maul East.
Is this the dogs?
It again involves dropping down into the courtyard down below, but on this farm we're going to be ignoring all of the mobs on that floor level of the courtyard and wrapping alongside the walls until we reach the tunnel leading to the mid portion of the dungeon.
I want to see this warrior do
damage.
This
is called jump runs, which are generally not done as a solo farm, but rather something that you do in a 2 to 3 man group, ideally 2, so you can split the profits a little bit better. This run is more similar to Marathon solo farming, where you're going through the dungeon, avoiding most of the trash, pretty much all of the trash, and pinging specific bosses for vendor blues and pre-raid items if you need them. So you'll jump down there and work your way around the walls like I just stated until you get to the tunnel. Then make it into Hydro Spawn's room where you can just quickly finish him off, although beware of the knockback as to not aggro extra mobs by being
so that's just like skipping
then
trash.
You work your way to the Satyr boss, and it's really important to have an interrupt here, so make sure one of the 2 people can interrupt the ability.
I have a feeling that we'll be able to handle it.
Survive through the sacrifice ability since it heals him, although it kind of makes it a lot less efficient. Then once he's dead, you go back to the courtyard and talk to this Mega Tree dude, and he'll open the door to the last boss's room.
That's the guy in the middle.
Onto this pillar, jump down, and then execute the final boss of the dungeon. Now, if you want to make this farm way better, it's really useful to have mining or herbalism near max.
Oh yeah, the mine those things on the way back.
Yeah,
way outside.
All over the place on your way, which sell for a really nice amount, pretty much 1 gold plus each. And behind the final boss in his room, you've got a carved out tunnel which leads outside of the dungeon.
Veins,
There's a chance for 2 to 3 thorium nodes that can spawn.
I feel like they're like always rich thorium too. That's the best part about it.
Being the most lucrative.
Watch, he's gonna get an arcane crystal
in the entire game right here. Watch. So guaranteed thorium for potential arcane crystals as well as dense stones alongside it on an instance lockout, meaning there's no competition, is very, very nice.
It's insane.
Not to mention the tunnel leading out basically just brings you back to the entrance, ready to reset the instance and just go over and over again in that nice little loop. You don't have to have an alt or a friend in your group and then log out for him to reset.
So I want to show you guys these methods, and here's actually now. The 100 IQ is showing gold farming videos for content. But here's the 200 IQ. Showing the gold videos for content and for my viewers to watch them and then participate in these methods and then trade me the gold that they receive from these methods later on. That's what we're doing this for, okay, guys? I want to make sure everybody understands this. There is a goal here.
Set the ID for you, and of course you can get dusty tomes as well on top of everything that I just mentioned, but we'll cover that better later on. Okay, next we've got hound runs, which is something that isn't really viable for most classes, but it's a really nice farm for those who can execute on it, that being mages, warlocks, priests. So for this run, we're headed to Dire Maul North, where again,
so you just jump up on the little ledge.
This time it's littered with massive ogre packs and roaming hound packs too, or maybe hyenas. They look the same as the hyenas from Tanaris. So for this one, it's a little bit more interesting than just pulling groups of lashers and killing them. You actually need to focus on your movement. So if you see right here, we've got a little bit of a ledge that lines the entirety of the wall, and attached to that ledge, we have a ramp that heads up to the entrance at the top level. The idea here is to pull a bunch of the roaming hound packs, get them up the ledge, so the dogs will basically run all the way around, get up the ledge, and then start running the whole wall to make it towards you. At this point,
you jump down and then run all the way back. Yep, there it is.
You can hit them if you're a hunter. You can multi-shot and cast serpent stings. You can mage AoE them, and then as they make their way towards you, they get too close, it's time to jump down. And then they're going to go all the way back the same path that they came from, except the opposite way.
I don't know if that's really that good. Actually, no, I guess you're doing it this way.
You can get back up on the ramp, jump back on the ledge, and then they're going to turn around and
start really fucking easy to do, man.
On the ledge and start running towards you.
God damn.
Rinse and repeat, you have the dogs in a limbo. You can just keep doing this over and over again until all of the doggos have been slain. This is a really nice farm, specifically if you have skinning, of course.
God damn.
Now this one is probably the most talked about and maybe the most well-known one in general. It's called the DM North Solo Tribute Run.
I remember watching this video back then. I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, this is boring. He doesn't even kill anything. What do you mean? Oh, wow. Yeah, he's so good for not killing the bosses. Oh, man, I could do this. My group does this faster than him. But yeah, Hunter versus World. This was the old fucking videos, man. I've watched every single one of these. And I honestly, like, some of them I got really upset because, do you know what warriors can solo? SM. Warriors can solo SM. And that's about it. Sad. Barely.
So if you don't know what a tribute run is, it's killing the final boss in DM North by skipping or not killing all of the guard bosses within the dungeon. I know 3 classes that can solo this specifically: the Hunter, the Priest, and the Druid. Although, knowing the classic community, we might see some other classes that can somehow pull it off eventually.
That'd be
so I'll
pretty
quickly
cool.
explain how to do it on a Hunter. Essentially, you're going to be using your pet to aggro mobs and then running through into specific safe zones and then feign death after your pet dies, or maybe you'll out of range your pet and he'll just disappear, then you'll feign death, and you'll slowly make your way through the entire dungeon.
I wish I had a Hunter to do this on.
The process. Once you get to the second boss who's guarding the entrance to the final boss, you pretty much do the exact same thing again. You send your pet through, you get around the corner, and then you feign death, and then you can finally make your way to the final boss. For the King of the Ogres, it's pretty simple. There's a couple different strategies that you use, but the most common one used nowadays is basically just kiting him around with Serpent Sting and auto attacks. He's got a circular platform with kind of like a road that goes around it, and you could basically either run in circles around, or you can go up, and then as he gets up and follows you up, you just jump off of the platform, then he jumps down, similar to how you were kiting the dogs. You just keep doing that over and over again, keeping the boss in, again, a limboed state. Once you've finished him off, you've completed a tribute run since you skipped all of the guards. You'll now be crowned the King of the Ogres.
Do you have to kill the blue one? Like the Cho Rush, the advisor or whatever, do you have to kill him, or are you not supposed to kill him? Boss is not even charging? Did Gordok charge in vanilla? I thought they only added that until later on. Don't kill him. Yeah, you're not supposed to. Okay, I don't remember. Like Princess? Yeah. Okay, I get it. He only charges at the start. Oh, really? Okay. Because I remember I soloed this back in the day on my Hunter. See, this is like yeah. Where is it actually? Let me see if I can pull that up. I'll show you guys. I remember I did a Hunter solo video challenge, and I went through every single dungeon in the entire in the entire game, and I soloed every single one. Let me show you guys here, okay? All videos, popular clips, recent highlights, and uploads. Okay, let me see if I can find it here. I'll scroll down. I need to start highlighting all my videos, man. I'm really lazy about that. Let me see if I can find it here. Highlight, where the fuck is it? I try to highlight all my streams, but sometimes I forget. Yeah, here it is right here. McConnell versus Dire Maul. I named my character McConnell. Where is it? Yeah, right here. See, I soloed King Gordok, and he was level 47. Look at me right here. Like, that's how good I am at the game. So all of these hunters, like, this is the true skill of a current WoW player here. The true skill. Yeah, I'm sitting there soloing. It's 1 in the morning, soloing King Gordok for literally no fucking reason. Like, there's absolutely no reason at all for me to want to do this. And I'm just beating his fucking ass. It's kind of funny that you can solo it faster now at like level 40 or whatever than you could back in vanilla WoW. But I remember doing this. It was a really fun stream. It took me like 8 hours to go through all of Dire Maul.
So the entire instance will become friendly to you, and you can claim the tribute bounty. So you get the loot off the final boss, and you get the 3 blues that drop off of the chest.
That is
plus
insane.
Health pots, mana pots, food, water, and also a chance at a green. So that's really nice gold value to begin with. Just the mana potions, if you get 5 of them, is like 15 gold.
Look at all that fucking stuff, dude. It's very common to get
3 to 5 mana potions in one chest. Now, after you claim kingship of the ogres, you can now run through the entire instance without aggroing anything, because you're the king and everything is friendly to you. This is when you start looking for dusty tomes, so you can go around on your way out and look at all the spawn locations for dusty tomes, and maybe even get supplemental gold gain on top of your farming.
Damn, I never even knew that.
Wood buffs, which allows you to farm.
That's a little bit of a bonus.
Druids will do this same thing, basically just by stealthing through and then casting Moonfire and Insect Swarm on the boss and just kiting him around. And Priests, I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but you guys can Google DM North Tribute Run Priest and you'll figure it out. This is widely known as the best gold farm in the entire game, at least from my knowledge. I'm not sure if there's anything better.
That seems really good.
I've seen crazy claims of like 100 gold per hour for hunters. Also keep in mind, if you're not one of the classes, hunter or druid.
Well, the best thing about this, right, is like you do the run once and then you have the buffs and then it makes it easier to do the run again. Like, it's actually really fucking badass that you can do that. It's like a snowball. Like, not really a snowball, but like, you know, after you do it the first time, it becomes easier the second.
or priest, you can do this in a 2-man group, specifically rogues, I guess, and maybe other classes. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I've seen like rogues and druids do this together, or maybe a rogue in another class. If you can manage to somehow make your way through, even on a non-stealth class, there might be ways to 2-man farm this, and it's still pretty good in terms of gold gain. All right.
I think that's really cool. Like, every time that I see methods like this, I always want to play like, oh man, dude, I wish I had a 60 mage. Oh man, dude, I wish I had a 60 druid or a 60 rogue or something like that, or 60 hunter, right? And I feel like that's one of the coolest things about Classic is the fact that like these classes have these abilities and these things that they can do that really makes it interesting, and like people get excited to play these other classes. And that's something I don't really feel like people have in retail WoW anymore. They're just like, yeah, whatever. But in Classic, like all of these little cool things that the classes could do made them unique and make people want to play them. Except Warrior. No, like you watch the Pat PvP video, you're going to want to play Warrior.
Now this one is one of the most pleasant farms. It's not necessarily the best and most consistent one, considering how heavily it relies on RNG. I mean, you can go with hours without getting anything really, but it's very relaxed, perfect for just mindlessly doing it while watching hentai on your second monitor. And we're talking about stealth book farming. I quickly alluded to this during the jump run segment, or maybe it was the lasher farm. I'm pretty sure it was the jump run. And I also alluded to Dusty Tomes,
just go around and click on the books.
Tribute runs. And of course, I mentioned it.
I like how all these methods, none of them involve a warrior.
But all over DM, there are spawn points where Dusty Tomes can appear. These are interactable objects which can be looted for a chance at any of the DM books, like the books which give the Eldreth the last trinkets, or Foror's Compendium of Dragon Slaying, which is used to attain Kel'Sarar, the epic tanking sword. So as I stated, there's set spawn locations. So if you're a rogue or a druid, you can stealth up to the Dusty Tome, loot it, move on, and it just gives you a chance at a big boom in gold if you get the right book. It's a bit of a gamble.
You want to get the purple one.
Quite rare, but people love doing this since you can get a large sum of gold in one shot with pretty much very little effort, just time investment.
We can try that.
Also note that DM instances are all connected, meaning if you have the key to move through the tunnels or lockpicking, you can make your way through the tunnel system from DM West to DM North or whatever it is, and extend your book farm across multiple dungeons. Now, a little trick that I like to use is always have Barov's Peasant Collar, where if ever you happen to get aggro or there's a book near a pack of mobs, you could just spawn all of Barov's peasants, and while they're tanking the enemies, just loot the book and then vanish, or have Gnomish Cloaking.
Dude, I've actually thought about using the Peasant Collar on like priests and shit whenever I duel them, because I feel like if I have the Peasant Collar on them, it will like interrupt their spellcasting so much they won't do as much damage. Like, I don't know if it'll be good enough, but I want to try it out at least.
Device where you can just turn invisible and just basically it's an extra vanish, or if you're a druid and you don't have access to a vanish, it gives you a 1 hour cooldown vanish.
I need to have that
just in case.
I need to level engineering, dude. I've been so lazy, it's embarrassing.
Make a couple hundred gold, easy money. All right, now this is not necessarily a farm per se, but it is a way of making gold that you can get from access to Dire Maul specific rewards. So with the release of Dire Maul, there's a bunch of recipes that are coming to the forefront. We've got the Enchanted Thorium set, which is an incredibly good pre-raid tank set, more for mitigation and not for TPS, but still this sells like crazy on the auction house. We've got Shifting Cloak, Hide of the Wild. Hide of the Wild is probably the most sought.
Enchanted Thorium. Let me see what Enchanted Thorium is. Where the fuck is it? Let me look this up. Enchanted Thorium. I know you guys can't see it right now. I'm just gonna look it up myself real quick. Enchanted Thorium. Oh, yeah, it actually is pretty good. Wow, okay. Maybe, yeah, I'll have to make those. Wait, 8 Arcanite bars? Yeah, never mind. I don't want that. It's not even a good item at all. I think it sucks. It's just a waste of fucking time.
After pattern and item in general out of Dire Maul's recipe list entirely. We've got Chromatic Cloak, Belt of the Archmage, Fellcloth Gloves.
Belt of the Archmage is really good, I think.
Cloak of Warding. Cloak of Warding is quite good since it's got extra armor, and that's good on bear tanks. Girdle of Insight, kind of useless. Mongoose Boots, which are average, I guess, pretty decent starter boots. And Swift Flight Bracers, which are really nice for runners. So if your plan is to farm mats and sell items on the auction house, this can be a pretty decent way to make money with the right pattern, of course. So check it out. Check what's selling, what's compatible with the professions that you have, and you might be able to make a decent amount of gold with this. Now, this is something connected to that a lot of you guys might get mad at me for. This is kind of information that certain gold farmers and gold makers like to keep on the hush-hush and down low in order to keep people away from it. But honestly, I always let you guys in on gold making secrets, at least the ones that I'm aware of. For this one specifically, you only have a couple of days now to really capitalize on it. But if you have a good amount of capital, you can invest in equity, then sell it off for profit come release of Dire Maul. We just spoke about all these recipes. You know, some are really, really lucrative or really sought after since they offer pre-raid items that are in some cases far superior to anything that's available right now. So check out all of the mats that are used in some of the best items, analyze them.
41 ranged AP? Holy fucking shit. That is insanely good for bracers. Wow. That's really good. God damn. And also the cloak's good too.
The prices and maybe make some investments in some materials that you think will increase in value once the patch hits.
God
everyone
damn.
is looking to craft.
We should have watched this video a couple of days ago.
Height of the Wild. Larval acid. So there you have it, friends. As you can see, Dire Maul really changes the landscape in terms of gearing up for raids and grinding gold. There's so many different gold farms coming up, so get ready to get grinding, boys. Like usual, I hope this video was useful to you, and hopefully it was informative, and hopefully it was also enjoyable. If you did enjoy it and want to see more like it, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, of course, you know the drill, soldiers. Hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a new video straight out of the render oven. And with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Okay. Alright. So it's a good video. I'm not logged into YouTube, so I can't really look at it. But I think this is a good video. So guys, make sure that you're doing these methods of farming. I need as much gold as possible if I want to be able to afford or farm out one of these Forer's Compendiums of Dragon Slaying. So if you guys want to farm out the gold, then make all that happen, okay?